Hello, everybody. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this very special ASMR video in a very different setting. I am finally going to do the highly requested baking ASMR video. I'm a little bit nervous because it's outside of my regular comfortable setting. There's lots of outside noises here because I have a big living room window too, actually. But I'm still very excited because today I'm going to be baking Valentine's cookies, Valentine themed cookies for actually to bring to the office tomorrow when I work. For those of you who don't know, I have a full-time job at a indie game studio, so I just do YouTube on the side of that. And yeah, I like baking, and for Valentine I'm gonna be bringing some cookies to the office. So the cookies I'll be baking today are going to be raspberry white chocolate cookies and blueberry lemon white chocolate cookies. And I'm going to use some food coloring, which I've never done in my life, to hopefully make them a bit more Valentine themed. So I hope that you guys will like and appreciate today's video, and let's get started. And I do want to apologize, there's like neighbors drilling and hammering and doing all that stuff, and I'm so sorry about that. So I've got everything here. This is the food coloring. I've never used it, but I got blue, yellow, and red, so that should be fine. I've got some vanilla aroma, some white chocolate, and I always buy this brand. It's a bit pricier, but it's very nice quality. So this is some white chocolate, a lemon, some unsalted extra creamy butter, two different brands because they didn't have this brand that I usually buy anymore, so I got a bio one, I don't know. And then all the sugar. I've got some new white sugar just in case I run out. I've got some light brown sugar. It's kind of funny because in Dutch we call this, I'm gonna show you, we call the extra fine sugar bastard suiker. But it's kind of like bastard sugar in English, right? It sounds kind of funny. And then I've got some flour. This bag ripped, so I put it in some extra plastic bag. And I do want to show you guys this machine. This is a family artifact. This is a Philips hand mixer, and I got this from my mom when I was younger, and when I moved out actually, and she got this from her mom. So this is a like now third generation hand mixer, and it still works so well. I've been told that this has like metal mechanisms in it, and back in the days that's what they usually did, and these days it's all made with plastic, so they all break much easier than these old ones. So very happy with this. So I do hope that this video is going to give you guys a bit of a more like a homey cozy cooking vibe. Like my kitchen and my apartment, it's kind of old and it's not perfect and it's not perfectly clean and like picture perfect magazine kitchen, like, you know, but that's not realistic. I don't like that. So I'm trying to just make this more homey and cozy vibe. So let's bake together. I hope that you guys will like this video. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I'm going to get the recipe ready on my phone. And I'm gonna make 2 batches because I'm gonna make 2 different flavors. So we're going to start with the... I'm going to chop the fruits first. I have frozen fruits. I'm gonna show you. I got blueberries and raspberries, and they're frozen. I'm going to chop them up in rough pieces, and then I'm going to put them back in the freezer because they need to be cold. So while we're working on the next section, this is gonna stay frozen in the freezer. So we're putting all the dry ingredients together. I use the metric system, but almost every recipe always uses the American system, so I got myself some measuring cups, and I'm going to be using 2 cups of flour, which should be 336 grams per cup. read that wrong. It's not per cup, but it's 2 cups, which is 336 in total. I don't know. I just need 336, so I'm just gonna measure that. Okay, and now since I'm doubling the recipe, I need another 336, so 672. So that's the flour. It's quite a lot. It's gonna be a lot of dough. So now I need to add baking powder, cornstarch, and salt. So I need 3 tablespoons. And I need 1 teaspoon of salt. And I also need 3 teaspoons of baking powder. So I always use these little bags. I'm going to give that a little stir. It tells me to use, this is a gluten-free recipe that I'm using, by the way. I'm not gluten intolerant. I'm using regular flour, but instead of eggs, they use cornstarch or potato starch. So it says 4 heaping tablespoons. With 6 tablespoons of water until thin and watery. Interesting, but I've made this before and it's really good, even though I'm not usually don't use like cornstarch and stuff. Trust me. Then now it's time to do the wet ingredients, so the butter and the sugar, until it's soft. So I'm gonna get another bowl. So I need 227 grams of butter, so that's probably a bit less than this entire thing, so I bought a bit too much, but that's fine. 227. So I'm gonna open this up. 206. 225. So that's the butter, and then I will need, I'm going to check, 500 grams of granulated sugar. So I don't need the brown one, I just got it out in case. So I'm gonna put this back, put the scale to 0 and 0. And we're gonna do 500 grams of sugar, guys. That's half a kilo. That's a lot. $501. That's a lot of sugar. So now I need to beat this until it's soft and creamy. I'm also going to add a tiny bit of vanilla, even though it's not written in the recipe. This already looks delicious. I haven't told you guys, but I absolutely love cookie dough. So I can't wait for everything to be mixed. So now I need to add 6 tablespoons of milk. And I'll add this cornstarch mixture. Now we're going to mix in the flour a bit at a time. And I will transfer this to this bigger bowl. Okay, I think it's mixed well enough. Now, this, my friends, this is going straight into the tasting test because I absolutely love dough. This is so delicious, and I don't care about people saying it's bad for you, raw flour and whatever. Now I am going to try to divide the dough into equal halves. We're going to do the food coloring part. I'm gonna make a bit of space. Since I don't have any pink, I'm gonna use a little bit of red. I did 2 drops and I'm gonna mix and we'll see how it looks. Okay, this is really tiring for your arm. And now the tricky one, I'm gonna try to make purple. gonna mix some blue together with red. Doesn't seem like it mixes that well, it just gets black. I'm gonna mix it and see if it does anything, and otherwise I'm just going for blue. And this is the more purple-ish color. It's not very vibrant, but I think I'm gonna keep it like that because I like it if it looks a bit more swirly instead. So now I'm going to chop up the chocolate. I also just realized that now I should add the lemon to the blueberry dough. Kinda should have added the juice earlier, but I kind of forgot, and I'm freestyling this a bit anyway because this is not part of the recipe, but it's gonna be fine. So I'm gonna wash this. And I'm gonna add the lemon peel to this. And I gently folded this through. And now I'm gonna make the balls and put them in a Ziploc bag. And I'm gonna freeze them because the dough needs to be very cool. I just cleaned this and we're going to make the scoops for the raspberry batter. I think this one looks very Valentine-y and super cute. I really like how this one looks. Now that everything is in the freezer, I'm going to clean everything up. And the next step is only going to be rolling them in sugar and baking them, but I need to let the dough chill for an hour, so I'm going to be doing that right now. I realized I completely forgot to roll my cookies in the sugar. Trust me, usually I don't forget this many things when baking, but I think the whole recording and doing everything at once is making me forget quite a few steps. I've got the other cookies here, and I'm gonna roll them in sugar. They already look amazing. look so good, guys. I can't. They look so good. Okay, guys, it's time for the final taste test. I've got a cookie here. I'm not gonna eat too many of them. I picked the raspberry one. Looks very soft and chewy.